Hi, there's the midweek edition of Joy News Interactive with me, Benis Abubedu. You're welcome to today's show. It's going to be a great one. Here's what to expect. A conversation on your first day at school. Let's focus on the senior high school because that's what's trending with hashtag free SHS is here. And did you know Uganda has a free universal basic education? And baby knew that for a decade. Yes, they have. And we'll be having a Skype conversation with a Ugandan here. And it's Wednesday, so Kobe will be joining us. There have been a few phone releases this year, with the latest being the iPhone X from Apple. We'll be doing a comparative analysis of 3 phones here, or possibly 4. And we'll be looking at value for money. Call all your tech friends. This will be one not to miss. And our video of the day. So there's more of that. Just stay here with us on Joy News Interactive. Now, the Minister of Education and some other government officials are touring some schools today as students report for the first time. We've picked different reactions from fresh students. Some are excited and others are quite anxious, and there were definitely some tears that were shed. But do you remember your first day at high school? What was it like? A lot of you have been sharing that experience with us, and let's get on to Facebook. Father Nathan says, although it wasn't something new to me because I'd been in a boarding school from class 1 till I completed JHS, an SHS student who is not a boarder is the one to a student. Okay, Wellington Achichogbi says, when a politician has a great scam to dupe the nation, they just divert the attention of the nation. Oh, well, but he's not answering the question, but he's sharing his opinion on free SHS. Rosalind Selin says, it was very terrible for me and some friends because my provisions got missing. Ooh, that is not a good one to remember. Burma Justice is laughing at that. And Emmanuel Ose says, oh, Yehovah, it was due to the fresh homodyne life. Oh, sorry, dear. And Nasir Hassan Yaima says, nothing. I felt normal on the first day, though I was confused certain times when I was asked to go and call a master. I don't know. Says this is nostalgic, and he sighs. And Prince Nuruddin Balmia says it was very interesting living in a serene environment with new friends and socializing with them. The free senior high school policy of the NPP is an opportunity for parents to get their wards educated. Says kudos, Mr. President. Emmanuel says sighs and says, for me, I wept the moment my parents left me in the school. I think a lot of people can share in that, the tears. Fefe Francis laughs and says, it's beautiful. I'm sure he's just got a lot of memories there. Moro Husseini says, Ghana is working again. And that Nana Akufo-Addo says, Allah bless him. So those were some of your memories sharing with us here, how you felt the first day at high school. It's a Wednesday, guys. Yes, the iPhone X is out. There's a lot of buzz about it on social media. Kobe, he's just here. He just walked in. And we'll be talking about value for money. Would you rather go for an iPhone X or a Galaxy Note 8, which is priced at almost $1,000? Or would you go for, you know, a relatively cheaper phone? But that's also powerful. We'll be discussing that. Call all your tech friends. We'll be back. Thanks for staying here on Joy News Interactive. The free senior high school policy was officially launched yesterday, but obviously the debate on sustainability and its quality are unending. Now, did you know Uganda has had free universal secondary education for over a decade? Yes, over a decade. So what can we learn from them? And their schemes suffer some criticisms like we have here. Well, Siraj Kaliango joins me from Uganda to share some thoughts with us. Hello, Siraj.
Yes, hello.
Hi, thank you for joining us. How's Uganda?
Just fine.
All right, so
well, good, and politically we're okay.
Okay, great to know. We're also doing very well here in Ghana, and the biggest subject now is the free senior high school policy. We know Uganda, you've been doing that for a long time. What do you think has led to, you know, the sustainability of your program there?
Well, just briefly, if you may allow me to give brief history of this universal education. It started in 1997 whereby the current government, led by President Yoweri Museveni, announced the Universal Primary Education, UPE, that's how we call it here. And the main policy was to achieve poverty eradication and human development. So the government thought that if you want to develop people, you have to give them education. And the majority of Ugandans are poor and stay in rural areas. They cannot afford tuition fees. So the government decided to do that. In first instance, the government had decided to pay for 4 children per family. Then later, they say the government decided that whoever wants to go to get education is free. And then later in 2007, they introduced universal secondary education. So since 2007, that policy is going on, and it's going on well, though there are difficulties here and there. So briefly, that is the brief history of universal education in Uganda, both primary and secondary.
Okay, Siraj, so over here we've had the opposition say, for example, this is not sustainable. They've questioned funding. Did you have issues like that when Uganda decided to do this?
Sorry, could you repeat that question, please?
I'm saying that here in Ghana, we've had the opposition, for example, questioning the sustainability of our program here, the Free Senior High School, and asking, how are we going to fund this, because it's quite expensive. I'm just asking if you had such criticisms and questions when Uganda decided to do the free basic education.
Definitely, the criticisms are there. They were there and are still there. But the government says it can, because it can get funds from different sectors which are not, basically from like defense, which was taking more money during the budget, so that they can cut persons to fund education. And that's when most of the critics were saying this project cannot be funded, but the government said it can, together with the donor countries, donor funds. If they get money from donors, they funded this project and policy of giving free education to Ugandans.
Well, finally, Siraj, it's been 10 years. What would you grade your senior high school, free senior high school policy there in Uganda? Has it grown better or has it grown worse?
Well, it depends on the way, but I think it has gone, it is good because it has enabled many students to at least access education. Though there is a negative part of it whereby the quality, as it was before, the quality has a little bit gone down because teachers, and especially in primary education, they cannot cope with the biggest number of pupils in the classroom, because previously the classroom could accommodate about 20 pupils, now 100 or more. So the ratio to the teacher, it is too big. So the teacher cannot effectively give education to such a big number. But at least many access education, though it's poor, than at least few getting education. So from that point of view, I say it is a little bit okay, because it has given more Ugandans access to education, both primary and secondary.
Thank you so much for your time. Siraj Kalyango is in Uganda, and he's been sharing with us how Uganda has been able to have a free universal secondary education for a decade. So if you didn't know, now you know.